Hello guys, it is that panda guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be doing a new talent tree review on my heroes. I want to start out this video by saying my talent trees aren't perfect and there probably could be improvements, but these are what I've personally chosen, especially for how I might handle things whenever I'm, in a PvP situation. And I'll try to explain that along the way, but obviously I'm not the most perfect player ever, and you guys got to work with me. If you guys want to copy any of my talent trees, that's up to you guys, and I just do my best to kind of get these out for anybody who might want them. So I do hope you guys enjoy, and I thank you for watching as always, and it is my pleasure to give you guys just something like this. So we're gonna start off with Cynthia. So we're gonna look at my talent tree for her, and this talent build is actually kind of bad, and we're gonna look at this one because this is probably what I would use. And the reason I don't really like going all the way in is because I don't like a damage increase that's like only dealt in like the first 10 seconds or something like that, right? Like those kind of skills are really iffy to me. You see like this skill right here increases travel speed by 6% when your remaining squad size is like less than 50%. And a lot of in a lot of cases, you're not going to be fighting a disadvantageous battle when when your squad size is like lower than 50%. Usually you're going to be out of there, and even if you are in there, it's not a reliable skill to rely on. It's just not what I would like. I wouldn't rely on skills that usually mean that you have to be under 50% unless it was maybe a defensive skill. Like that's the only case I really think that under 50% kind of squad size is like doable. We're going to look at this, and obviously squads have a 10% chance to increase travel speed by 4% for 2 seconds when using basic attacks. And that just means that basically this is going to be like running after somebody. I feel like this is going to be chasing someone down. And in a similar case, quick escape, that's going to be like just escaping. And I don't really care for skills like these. In a lot of situations, I won't be trying to run off the field if I'm like having to run with my, tail between my legs. And if I have to, I usually will. And I would hope that I'd be able to outrun them. If I'm not, I'll just let my squads die there. I'd rather have I'd rather just put my skills elsewhere, right? So this is just my talent build for that one. I'll go to Martin, and you guys see my phone's at 15% because I'm so bad at charging that. So we're gonna look at his talent build, and I kind of want to mention that for Martin, it is really complicated because honestly, you don't want to use Martin as like a main hero. You want to use him as a support. I don't recommend over leveling him because there's absolutely no reason, as you guys might or might not know, support heroes, their talent trees have no effect in the battle, and Martin isn't like the best when it comes to leading a squad, right? Like you don't need Martin leading a squad over other heroes. Like if you have a choice, I pair him with a tank or something, right? Like the max you need is level at might be like 40 or something, just enough to unlock all his skills. I don't recommend throwing him as like a main hero when you have so many other options. Put him with Rhaegar, put him with Tom, just put him as a support. You don't need him out in the field in like someone's face. We're gonna look at Hank next. Oh wait, actually let me explain why I built it like this for anybody who might end up just wanting to do it anyway. So obviously we went for the rage. I always go for rage no matter what. If like I have a choice, the first thing I usually aim for is rage because I feel like skills, being able to drop skills as fast as possible is so massive. That's why you'll see me usually go for rage talent right off the bat if I can. And also I've mentioned this many times, Martin is an overall type hero, meaning that he can lead or any kind of troop type, right? So like if you did have to defend with Martin or something, he would be okay on the wall. Of course, like I said, I don't recommend him. I recommend him as a support, but he would be okay, I suppose, since he can basically, he has like all these other talents that are like excelling and leading, all these different troop types. So Martin is all right, but he is not who I would like recommend as a first option, leading obviously. Then there's Hank. I never will recommend leading this dude onto the field. I wouldn't even lead him as a support, right? I wouldn't even put him as a support. His talent tree or his skill tree isn't even built for like any field combat. I hate when I see Hank on the field. It just hurts me. And this is my kind of rally tree because honestly, I was looking at the siege tree, and when it comes to the siege tree, I generally dislike it. I don't like it because I feel like the siege tree is a waste of points. The only thing that's really worth it to me would be this last talent on the tree, which would be like, so basically, as you, of course, advance in this skill. I think it gets up to 9%. So the number of units killed in battle will be reduced by 9%. I'm pretty sure if you max the skill at level 6, these units will be converted to heavily wounded units and sent to the hospital. I want to mention that it's not necessarily worth it when you consider like the stats that come along with it. Like most of these stats or just like these talents just aren't optimal, right? Like it might be worth it, it might not. I can't really tell, and it's too early for me to even know because I haven't done enough like testing. But I personally went deep into the just talent build for leader, and I just maxed this one out because all of these skills or all these talents seem more like my type. And it just didn't seem like very fitting for me to go down the siege tree. Honestly, if I was to rally a base, I wouldn't go the siege tree. Like that's just me personally. Maybe if we understand more about the game or the mechanics, I might change my mind. But until then, I'm not going to be investing in the siege tree, and that's just me. I did put a field tree for him, but I don't recommend him. Like I said, I don't recommend him on the field. And obviously I love to go full into the skills usually for like the talent build, just because I always like rage. Like I always love rage, and you guys are going to hear that from me a lot, especially during this video. And we are already 6 minutes in. This is going to be an extremely long video. You guys just hang in for the ride. So now we're going into Lee. Lee is just, I love Lee, okay? I am a hypocrite when it comes to Lee because I love him, and I just am hypocritical. So this is going to be my field tree for Lee. I don't even think I actually have a rally tree for Lee, which, you know, I'm sorry for that, guys. But I mean, Lee actually wouldn't probably be bad in a rally or being even a rally lead, though I'm still probably not ever going to lead with him. I'm not sure if I would. I might change my mind one day. Maybe if I wanted to go like Lee Lewis or Lee rider hero. I don't know. I mean, he's a leader type troop, so he's all right. And I mean, I haven't maxed out, so I might or might not rally with him. But this is his field tree that I have set up for him. If anybody wants to copy this down, you know, that's up to you. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about Lee, his tree or anything. This is my Peter. This is my Peter's tree, and this is for field actually, which I think. Okay, so basically, I did this because I. So if you're going this way, what you're going to generally want to do when sending them out, you're going to want to send out 3 troop types, and even if that's like 200k infantry, 1k riders, 1k range, you get this joint attack buff. And I honestly think I only went for that because he does have a skill. Yeah, okay, so if there are 2 or more troop types, or sorry, 2 or more types of troops in the squad, increase the squad attack by 24%. So I actually did this because I saw this skill and I decided that it'd probably be more worth it to me, especially over going towards an attack skill, you know, that increases your attack when your remaining squad size is less than 50%. And I didn't like that because, you know, I generally don't like skills or talents, I mean, that are like, you know, remaining squad size 50% and then it activates, you know, like it's just not my type of thing. I also didn't go full into the attack tree because basically when I saw this, I don't like when it has like a 10% chance or something compared to one that might give me 100% chance, or it's just an overall boost on troops. For example, right here, well, not right there, a squad HP, right? 1.5%, that is throughout the whole battle, compared to one that's like has a 10% chance of launching into berserk mode, which I mean isn't a bad skill. It's just not my general, you know, want. I don't generally want that skill. Also, sorry for that alert, guys. I keep saying skill, it's talent. I'm sorry, guys. We're going into Rhaegar next, and we're going to start getting into my defensive builds. I have a few defensive builds I'm going to be showing you guys, so let's hop right into it. Alright guys, so I generally really like, you know, Rhaegar, Tom Lewis, and like heroes that are defensive as well as offensive, because it makes them really useful for me. Because I mean, obviously I can use them on the field and in my base, and that is just a huge W when I'm able to become like more versatile with like a certain hero, right? So I do generally like Rhaegar. I've heard that, you know, I've heard from people they just dislike him. Some people don't like him, but I do like Rhaegar myself. And this is my field tree. And you're gonna see me change up this I don't know which freaking talent it is. Actually, I'm gonna look at my garrison build first. Okay. So I want to kind of mention this right off the bat because this is something that I like instantly took note of. So when leading only infantry squads has a 10% chance to reduce damage taken by 4% for 2 seconds when attacked. And I also want to mention that I keep reading these out, but they do go up higher, of course. Like, you know, the more you fill out the talent. Though I didn't do this because obviously when you're garrisoning a base, you're gonna have all these different troop types in your base. You're not gonna want one that's like only gonna affect you if you're only leading a certain troop type, right? Because that forces you to basically have no other troop types. That means you would be infantry only, which makes zero sense. I've also noticed a lot of people fully fill out their garrison tree, and I actually did this. I actually did this for like the longest time, but they fully fill out their garrison tree whenever, you know, building their garrison, which isn't always bad, I guess. But I mean, personally, it is not, you know, the way I would go. And you're putting a lot of talent points into these, which just aren't insane. And, you know, you could be using them better. I also want to mention, like, in some cases, you know, maybe I would take my points out of this infantry squad HP and put it into like a skill like medicine supply, right? And personally, I didn't want these, and the biggest reason being is I have such a huge troop count that having my troops heal over and over, especially if it happened to come to like down to a swarm or something, might not be optimal for me. Though it might actually be smart for me to rearrange just a bit, maybe get rid of my gunfire sentence and maybe change out my infantry HP and then invest it actually into the medicine supply, because especially if I'm like holding a tower or something, these can have massive effects at making the tower just so much more durable, right? Like it's going to make it so much more durable to hold off. And that's just like, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of point that out. Also, you're going to notice that I instantly go for rage a lot. I do like garrison builds, and I've started like going more, like I actually started liking them more just because of like the extra rage you get over here. Of course, you know, this only happens when garrisoning, but that's extra rage. And like I told you guys, I mentioned this a lot, but I love rage. I feel like rage is just a must. And now we're going to look at this little field tree real quick. You can note this down, copy it if you want. I of course wouldn't use other troop types with Rhaegar whenever leading them out in the field, so I did go into infantry guard this time. So yeah, you guys can note that down if you want, and that's that. All right, we're gonna look at Tom. I think his build was the exact same as Rhaegar. You guys can note this down if you want. Yeah. And now we're gonna look at his little garrison. Actually, you know, you guys can pause or just screenshot it if you want. So I'm just gonna look at his garrison now. Garrison tree. This is his garrison tree. I think it should be similar, if not identical, to Rhaegar's. I think I changed out the gunfire sentence for just this like infantry squad defense boost. And like I said earlier, you know, you might want to go into medicine supply. You could get rid of these extra points. You could even take some out of no riding and maybe put it into balanced strategy. My biggest issue is that even though it reduces damage taken by 1.5%, it reduces the damage dealt by 1%. And I didn't really like that compared to being able to just get stat points in general. And that's why you guys would see me put in like squad HP or no riding, right? Where I do have this like, I have this constant percentage compared to me losing percent to gain a bit of percent. You know, like it just wasn't like hitting the right spot. Maybe I'm missing something, but this is just what I saw when looking at it. So that is just how I build it. And I mean, if you guys want to copy any of these down, that is great. And I hope this does help you guys, because I'm trying my best to get the information that I might know out there. I mean, I'm a little sloppy, but yeah. So this is my only build for Maya Neko. I generally like Maya. I mean, I know she's got her issues with being like really melty. I feel like she melts really fast, but either way, she still does insane damage, and her skill damage is pretty high. I've never really had a problem at doing damage. I just get a lot of injuries or like deads when I use her. You know, a lot more than I would with my like other heroes, which I mean, it's the trade-off for doing more damage. I mean, it just makes sense, but it does hurt. It does hurt. So you guys can copy this build if you want. You know, of course. Yeah, I'm just blabbing right now. We're gonna go down to Lewis, and of course, I mean, this is my garrison build. Actually, I have my garrison build already put in for Lewis because he is my garrison hero, and I actually use him as a support on the field to my Lee. So I don't actually have a reason to keep him in his field tree unless like I really needed to swap back. So I do keep Lewis in his garrison build 24/7, and you guys can look at this. I'm also gonna go look at his field tree real quick. I actually don't know if I have his field tree set up. Okay, I just didn't put the name here, but this is his field tree. It's the exact same as Maya's. I built them the exact same. I mean, might be able to tweak it a little bit, but I don't know. I think I did a pretty good job with his, tree, of course. So that is that. We're gonna go to my Jaden. I actually don't know how I feel about my Jaden. I don't know if I have like a better build for him anywhere. Okay, so the only difference I have in this tree, I actually, wait, I don't know if that's smart because okay, so basically I don't have much of a difference here. I don't know if this tree is actually that good. I don't use Jaden a lot, and when I do, I mean, I think my tree is pretty decent. It might be able to be better, and if I did invest into this talent right here, supplemented defense like I do have right now, you're going to want to send multiple troop types with him just to get that extra 5% squad defense buff, even if it's like a little bit of each troop type. You don't need like a ton of troops, like 100k of each, for example. You only need like, maybe 1,000 of the other two types. I just like mentioning that so you guys know that just how to make sure his talent actually goes into effect. Now we're going to look at Bella. Let's get it, guys. We're finally ticking our way down to the end here. So this is my field tree for her. Of course, I don't have like enough experience about her to actually like have any other builds for her, and I'm not sure I would do another build for her. Though one thing I do regret is not actually being able to go into this. I might, so if I could, I might get rid of this Rider Squad travel speed and just put it into my Predator's Rage, just for the fact that I'd have the extra rage. I don't really care about travel speed as much as other people. And maybe that's just me. A lot of people hate how slow travel speed is, and they, need really fast travel speed to do hit and runs or just like, get in and out really fast. So maybe that's like an optimal build for some people. But for me, I might actually like prefer getting rid of this travel speed and putting it into Predator's Rage. But you guys can note this tree down if you want and maybe copy it a little bit. So that's up to you guys. We're gonna look at, well, if you guys really want to see my Maxine, I put all my talents into gathering, of course. Any gather here, I always do that. I never put it in other stuff unless I have spare levels, talents, whatever you want to call it. All right, and we're gonna look at my talent for Night Devil. I can't say his name to save my life. Of course, I don't even have him fully maxed out or anything, and I could put more skills. Oh yeah, I do actually want to mention my Bella. I don't even have her maxed out, so yeah, I can max this skill out. And I'm just stupid. Never mind. If you guys max her out at level 60, you can go full into the skill tree. I'm actually dumb. All right. But now we're going to look at my Night Devil. So when looking at my tree, I actually built him like Bella, kind of, at least in the Rider Squad area. And I first went into Blazing Rage just for that extra rage, as well as Suffering Rage, just to get these rage skills or talents, whatever you want to call it. And then I probably would work my way either into Recovery Pill or Special Defense. I think I would do Special Defense and then start working my way up this tree as far as I could get. Like, that's like all I could think of. Though I definitely probably would go into Special Defense because I would love to reduce skill damage taken, because skill damage is a pain. Also, my calf is terrible. I don't invest in this hero, so I do not care about her, and I just leave her to rot. But you guys can look at this tree. I don't actually think I built her right. I'd actually rather follow her strategy guide when like referring to her. So you guys might actually want to follow the strategy guide. My build for her is so bad because I've never used her, or I never do use her. Also, I'm not sure how I feel about disruptive tactics. I might actually prefer to go into double-edged sword over that. So I probably would actually avoid doing disruptive tactics and just, going to double-edged sword if you have like an option between the two. That's just me. So I would actually like fix that a little bit. But yeah, just note for somebody. I'm sorry, by the way, guys, I'm doing such a long video. This is 20 minutes in. This is a 20-minute video. I might just like do it into two separate videos, like the epic heroes and stuff. But you know what? I'll do that. I'm gonna end it here, guys. I'm gonna end it here, and I'll think about doing the epic heroes maybe in another video. Actually, tell me in the comments if you do want it, because I am not sure. Because my talent builds for them aren't insane, though I did work a little bit on having okay talent builds for them just for a video maybe. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. And I do hope this video was helpful. It's 20 minutes, so I didn't want to keep dragging it on anymore. And I thank you guys for watching. And I'm sorry this was such a long video. I blabbed my butt off, but I hope this was kind of helpful to some people. And I thank you guys for watching, and you guys have an amazing day or night, and peace out.